You already know about the dinosaurs. You know about T-Rex and Spinosaurus, and the things that walked the Cretaceous like they owned it. You have seen the reconstructions and the documentaries and the museum exhibits. What you probably don't know is what came after. The dinosaurs went extinct 66 million years ago. But the birds didn't. Birds are dinosaurs. The only lineage that survived the impact. The only branch of the theropod family tree that made it through. And for millions of years after the extinction, some of those birds grew into things that would make most people deeply uncomfortable if they encountered them on a hiking trail. We are not talking about ostriches. We are talking about birds with wingspans wider than a city bus. Birds that stood 3 meters tall and hunted horses. Birds that patrolled the skies of ancient South America like living surveillance systems with 7-meter wings and hooked beaks designed to strip flesh from bone. We are talking about birds that hunted the ancestors of humans. They are gone now. Every single one of them. Here is every extinct giant bird explained, divided into 3 categories: the ones that still flew, the ones that gave up flight and paid a price for it, and the ones that hunted, starting with the largest wings ever confirmed on a flying animal. These birds kept their wings. They used them, and they became the largest flying animals that ever existed. Argentavis magnificens. The magnificent Argentine bird, 6 million years ago, something crossed the skies of ancient Argentina that would be genuinely difficult to explain to a modern person without sounding like you were describing a mythological creature. Argentavis magnificens had a wingspan of approximately 7 meters. To put that in terms that have immediate physical meaning, a modern commercial aircraft door is roughly 2 meters wide. You could lay 3 of those doors end to end and still not reach the full span of Argentavis in flight. The largest living flying bird today, the wandering albatross, reaches about 3.5 meters. Argentavis was twice that. It weighed between 70 and 72 kilograms. The wandering albatross weighs about 12. Argentavis weighed more than most adult humans. This creates an immediate question, which is, how did it fly? Something this heavy should not be able to take off under muscle power alone. The answer is that Argentavis was almost certainly a soaring specialist, a bird that used rising thermal columns of warm air to stay aloft for extraordinary distances without expending significant muscular energy. Researchers estimate it could cover hundreds of kilometers in a single flight without flapping its wings more than a few times. It was not a predator in the conventional sense. It was likely a scavenger, equipped with a beak designed to tear flesh from carcasses that other animals had already brought down. Think of it as a vulture scaled up to the point where the analogy starts to break down. The shadow it cast on the ground while soaring was larger than the shadow of a hang glider. Pelagornis sandersii, the largest flying bird ever. The distinction of largest confirmed flying bird belongs not to Argentavis, but to a creature called Pelagornis sandersii, discovered in 1983 at the Charleston Airport in South Carolina during construction work, identified in 2014. Wingspan between 6.1 and 7.4 meters. Weight approximately 22 to 40 kilograms. The defining anatomical feature of Pelagornis is the thing in its beak. It had what appeared to be teeth. Not true teeth in the mammalian sense, but bony tooth-like projections along the edges of its bill called pseudoteeth. These pseudoteeth could reach several centimeters in length and were perfectly designed to grip slippery fish and squid. Pelagornis lived between 25 and 28 million years ago and was built for the ocean. It almost certainly spent most of its life at sea. Like an extreme version of an albatross, skimming the ocean surface with those enormous wings and snatching prey from the water with its toothed beak. Scientists still debate exactly how it took off. At that size and weight, taking off from flat water would have required either a running start of extraordinary length or, more likely, launching from cliff edges and using wind to gain lift. It was a flying animal the size of a small aircraft that caught fish with bone teeth. These birds gave up flight. In some cases, this was a reasonable evolutionary trade-off. In others, it was a decision that eventually cost them everything. Dromornis stertoni, the heaviest bird that ever lived. Australia produced Dromornis stertoni, which holds the confirmed record for the heaviest bird that ever existed. Weight, approximately 650 kilograms. Height, approximately 3 meters. To be clear about what 650 kilograms means in context, a large male grizzly bear weighs around 360 kilograms. Dromornis weighed nearly twice that. It weighed more than most horses. Dromornis was not a predator. It was almost certainly an herbivore or omnivore, equipped with an enormous beak designed to process tough vegetation, seeds, and possibly small animals. It belonged to a group called the mihirungs, giant flightless birds endemic to Australia, and its lineage stretched back over 25 million years. It went extinct approximately 50,000 years ago. The timing aligns precisely with the arrival of humans in Australia. This pattern, giant endemic megafauna going extinct within a geologically short period of human arrival, repeats itself across every continent and island where it occurred. The megafauna of Australia, the megafauna of the Americas, the giant birds of New Zealand and Madagascar. The timing is consistent. The mechanism is debated. The result is not. Dromornis had survived 25 million years of Australian evolution. It survived ice ages and climate shifts and the emergence and disappearance of entire ecosystems. It did not survive contact with humans. These birds were not scavengers. They were not gentle herbivores. They were apex predators, and in at least one confirmed case, they hunted the direct ancestors of modern humans. Terror bird, Forus racketti. The running predator, the Forus racids, collectively known as terror birds, dominated South America for approximately 60 million years, from shortly after the dinosaur extinction until about 2.5 million years ago. The largest species, Kelenkin guillermois, stood approximately 3 meters tall and had a skull 71 centimeters long, larger than a human torso. The beak was a hooked weapon designed for a specific hunting technique. The bird would grab prey with its beak and slam it repeatedly against the ground until the prey stopped moving, then use the hooked tip to tear it apart. They could run at estimated speeds of 45 to 50 kilometers per hour. They had vestigial wings, too small to fly but potentially used for balance during pursuit. Their legs were powerful enough to deliver kicks capable of killing large mammals. For 60 million years, South America was an island continent, separated from North America. During that time, the terror birds were the dominant land predators on the continent. There were no large mammalian carnivores competing with them for 60 million years. When the Isthmus of Panama formed 3 million years ago and North and South America reconnected, the great biological exchange began. North American predators, big cats, wolves, moved south. Terror birds moved north. Within approximately 500,000 years of reconnection, the terror birds were gone. 60 million years of dominance ended in 500,000. Haast's eagle, the one that hunted humans. New Zealand was the last large landmass on Earth to be settled by humans. The Maori arrived approximately 700 years ago, around 1280 CE. When they arrived, they found an ecosystem that had evolved in complete isolation from mammalian predators for 80 million years. The apex predator of that ecosystem was Haast's eagle, Heritis murray, and it is the most extreme example of a predatory bird that has ever been confirmed. Female Haast's eagles weighed between 10 and 15 kilograms, with a wingspan of up to 3 meters. This does not sound impressive until you understand that they used those proportions to hunt moa, flightless birds that weighed up to 250 kilograms. Haast's eagle killed prey 15 to 20 times its own body weight. The hunting method was confirmed by fossil evidence. The eagle would dive at speeds estimated up to 80 kilometers per hour, strike the back of the skull or the back of the neck, with talons capable of exerting grip forces comparable to a large lion, and grip until the prey stopped moving. Moa skulls have been found with puncture wounds that exactly match Haast's eagle talon dimensions. Maori oral tradition describes a creature called the pukai, a giant eagle that took people. Scientists initially classified this as mythology. Then they found human bones with Haast's eagle talon marks on them. It was not mythology, it was a record. Haast's eagle went extinct approximately 1400 CE, within 200 years of human arrival in New Zealand. The MOA went extinct at the same time. Remove the prey base from a specialist predator, and the predator follows. 3 categories. 6 birds. The flyers that crossed skies on 7-meter wings. The flightless giants that survived 25 million years of ice ages and climate shifts and did not survive 50,000 years of something else. The hunters that dominated entire continents for 60 million years, and the one that hunted us and left the marks to prove it. Every single one of them is gone. The skies are quieter now, not because there is nothing left to fill them, because the things that used to fill them are gone. And we know exactly when they left.